General Hospital spoilers reveal that Sidwell is orchestrating his deadliest plan yet, and with the infamous dagger now in play, the countdown to a shocking death has begun. His scheme has been carefully designed, setting a perfect trap that ensures someone in Port Charles will not make it out alive. The weapon, once belonging to Helena and now tainted with Alexis's fingerprints, has become more than just a historical relic. It is now a ticking time bomb that will soon explode into chaos. While Sonny remains Sidwell's primary target, the latest developments in his relationship with Natalia have added an unexpected twist, making this plot even more unpredictable. Sidwell has been watching, waiting, and calculating his every move. He has already inserted himself into Sonny's world, using real estate disputes as a front while keeping tabs on every aspect of Sonny's life. His presence in Los Angeles during Sonny's cardiology appointment wasn't just a coincidence, it was a warning. Sidwell has been studying Sonny, anticipating his weaknesses, and now he's preparing to strike at the perfect moment. But there's a wild card in all of this, Natalia. Sonny's growing connection with her has complicated what was once a straightforward assassination attempt. Sidwell's motivations may not be solely about power or revenge, there's something deeper at play. Has Natalia unknowingly become the catalyst for Sidwell's rage? Does she hold a piece of the past that makes this personal for him? Or is she merely collateral damage in a game where Sonny is the true target? If Sidwell intends to make a move against Sonny, how will he execute his plan? His use of the dagger suggests that framing Alexis is a major component of his strategy. By luring her into handling the weapon, he has ensured that her fingerprints are all over the murder weapon, setting her up for a crime she hasn't committed. The question is, who will be the one to fall? While all signs initially point to Sonny as the intended victim, the situation is growing increasingly complex. Could Sidwell use the dagger to stage an attack on Natalia instead, forcing Sonny into a spiral of grief and vengeance? Or could he turn against Drew, his supposed ally, if their arrangement no longer benefits him? The unpredictability of Sidwell's actions makes this one of the most dangerous situations Port Charles has faced in years. One of the most unsettling possibilities is that Sidwell will stage Sonny's downfall in a way that completely upends his life. Imagine if Sidwell uses the crime to make it seem as though Alexis, in a moment of fury, turned against Sonny over something connected to Christina. By manipulating long-standing tensions and personal conflicts, Sidwell could pull off a masterful deception that not only eliminates Sonny but also destroys the trust between some of Port Charles's most deeply connected families. Alternatively, if Drew is the real target, Sidwell could spin the narrative in a way that makes it look like Alexis had a personal vendetta against him, perhaps something connected to Scout. He has already forged ties with Drew, but those alliances in the world of crime and politics rarely last. If Sidwell no longer sees Drew as useful, he may decide to eliminate him while making Alexis take the fall. One thing is certain, the dagger will not remain a mere prop in this sinister plot for much longer. It is destined to be used in a murder, and when the crime finally happens, the ripple effects will shake Port Charles to its core. Sonny is the most obvious target, but the possibility of another victim means that no one is safe. As the days unfold, the tension will only grow. Sidwell is about to strike, and when he does, the fallout will be nothing short of catastrophic. Whether Sonny escapes this deadly game or finds himself ensnared in Sidwell's web of deception, one truth remains. Port Charles is on the brink of another devastating tragedy, and the truth behind Sidwell's motives may be more twisted than anyone ever imagined. Sidwell is carefully executing one of the most devious setups in General Hospital history, and this time, Alexis is in his crosshairs. His deadly plan isn't just about eliminating a powerful enemy, it's about ensuring that Alexis takes the fall for a crime she didn't commit. What began as a simple manipulation has now spiraled into a full-blown nightmare, one that will shake Port Charles to its core. The dagger she unknowingly touched, the same blade tied to her traumatic past, is no longer just a relic of Helena Cassidy's dark legacy. It is now a murder weapon, one that will soon be used to kill Sonny, and when that moment comes, Alexis will be blamed for the crime. For Alexis, this is more than just another legal battle, this is an all-out assault on her character, her reputation, and her sanity. She has fought for years to leave behind the reckless choices of her past, working hard to prove that she is no longer the woman who once made dangerous missteps. But Sidwell has calculated his attack perfectly. He isn't just trying to pin this murder on her, he is resurrecting the darkest chapters of her life, twisting her own history into a weapon against her. The psychological torment of this setup is undeniable. Alexis has already faced wrongful accusations before, but never on a scale this grand. The fingerprints, the weapon, and the history between her and Sonny, everything is aligning in a way that makes her the perfect suspect. And the more she fights against it, the guiltier she will seem. Will she be able to defend herself? Or will Sidwell's plan be so airtight that even those closest to her start to doubt her innocence? Sonny's potential murder will send massive shockwaves throughout Port Charles. He is a man of power, influence, and deep connections. His death wouldn't just be a tragic loss. It would be a turning point for the entire town. The question isn't just if Sidwell will succeed in eliminating Sonny, but how he will orchestrate the fallout. By making Alexis the prime suspect, he will pit some of the most important figures in Port Charles against one another. Dante, Sonny's son, will be one of the first to react. As both a detective and a grieving son, he will be caught between his duty and his emotions. Will he believe in Alexis's innocence, or will the evidence against her force him to seek justice? Carly, on the other hand, will undoubtedly explode with rage. Her history with Alexis has always been complicated, and if she truly believes that Alexis killed Sonny, there will be no limits to her vengeance. Christina, who has fought so hard to rebuild her relationship with Alexis, could also be thrown into emotional turmoil. Will she side with her mother, or will she be overwhelmed by her grief for Sonny? If Sidwell planned this murder to fracture trust among Sonny's closest allies, then he couldn't have chosen a better way to do it. And then there's Natalia. Her growing bond with Sonny has already complicated the situation, and if Sonny is murdered, Natalia's role in the fallout could become even more critical. Could she be used as an unwitting pawn in Sidwell's grand design? Will she, too, become a suspect, or will she be targeted next? But there's one question that looms above all others. Why is Sidwell doing this? Is he truly after Sonny, or is Alexis the real target? While it appears that his ultimate goal is to eliminate Sonny, the lengths he is going to in order to frame Alexis suggest something far more personal. Could Alexis have wronged him in the past without even realizing it? Does he have a connection to a case she once worked on, or perhaps to someone from her past? Sidwell is not a man who acts without purpose. Every move he makes is calculated, every piece of the puzzle placed with precision. And if Alexis doesn't figure out the truth in time, she may find herself convicted of a crime she never committed, facing a future behind bars while the real murderer walks free. As this deadly game unfolds, the people of Port Charles will be forced to make impossible choices. Loyalties will be tested, alliances will shatter, and the truth will become harder to distinguish from the lies. Sidwell has set the trap, and now all that remains is for the pieces to fall into place. Will Sonny survive the attack, or will Sidwell's plan succeed in bringing him down? Will Alexis find a way to clear her name, or will she be consumed by the weight of false accusations? And most importantly, when the dust settles, will the people of Port Charles finally uncover the truth about Sidwell's real motivations? One thing is certain, Sidwell's deadly plan is only just beginning, and the consequences will change everything. Carly and Jason are facing one of the most critical and dangerous moments in their lives. With Sidwell tightening his grip on Port Charles, their usual strategies are no longer enough. They have spent years navigating the criminal underworld, dealing with threats, and outmaneuvering enemies. But Sidwell isn't just another power-hungry adversary. He is a mastermind, a strategist who doesn't just strike, he manipulates, dismantles, and destroys from the inside out. His actions are not about claiming territory or eliminating a single rival, he is orchestrating a chain reaction of chaos that could bring Port Charles to its knees. And Carly and Jason are right in the middle of it. Sidwell has already set his plans into motion, and his influence is spreading like wildfire. The dagger, once a relic of the Cassadine family's dark past, is now a murder weapon waiting to be used. But it's not just about the death itself, it's about the frame job, the deception, and the emotional devastation that will follow. Sonny remains the primary target, and if Sidwell gets his way, Sonny's blood will be on that dagger. However, the real brilliance of Sidwell's plan lies in who will take the fall for the crime, Alexis. The setup is perfect. Her fingerprints are already on the weapon, her past is riddled with mistakes, and her connection to Sonny, both as an ex-lover and as Christina's mother, makes the betrayal seem plausible. The moment that dagger is plunged into flesh, Alexis's fate will be sealed. Carly can sense that something is coming. She has spent too many years in this world not to recognize the signs of an impending war. But this isn't like the battles she's fought before. This isn't a mob rival declaring war or a business dispute that needs to be settled in blood. This is something darker, something far more insidious. Sidwell is dismantling the people she loves piece by piece, using their own histories, weaknesses, and relationships against them. If Sonny dies, she knows that Alexis will be blamed. And if Alexis is blamed, the entire foundation of Port Charles will begin to crumble. Jason, meanwhile, is more than just worried, he's calculating. He has always been the one to handle the most dangerous threats, to clean up the messes no one else could. But this time, the threat isn't one he can simply eliminate with a well-placed bullet. Sidwell isn't just a man with an army or a drug empire, he is a manipulator, someone who strikes from the shadows and watches as his victims tear each other apart. Jason knows that killing Sidwell won't be enough, they need to outthink him, to anticipate his next move before he makes it. But that's easier said than done when their enemy has already laid the groundwork for destruction. The situation grows more volatile by the day. Sonny, unaware of just how deep Sidwell's plans run, continues to focus on his relationship with Natalia. But what he doesn't realize is that this relationship has made him more vulnerable than ever. Sidwell has been watching, waiting, learning every detail of Sonny's life, and Natalia's presence has only given him more leverage. What if she is used as bait? What if Sidwell intends to turn her into another victim in his twisted game? Sonny may think he's in control, but Sidwell has already set his sights on him. And if Carly and Jason don't act soon, it may be too late. Then there's Alexis, who is unknowingly walking straight into the biggest trap of her life. She has been trying to move forward, to rebuild herself after years of bad decisions, but none of that will matter once Sidwell's plan comes to fruition. Once the murder occurs, she will be at the center of it all, accused of a crime she never committed. And the worst part? The evidence will be overwhelming. Her fingerprints, her past history with Sonny, the complicated ties between their families, it will all paint a picture of betrayal, one that even her closest allies may struggle to deny. How will Christina react if her mother is accused of murdering Sonny? How will Dante, as both Sonny's son and a police officer, handle the fallout? Will Carly and Jason be able to protect Alexis, or will they be forced to let the law take its course? As the clock ticks down, Carly and Jason must make their move. But what can they do when Sidwell is always one step ahead? They need to find the cracks in his plan, the weakness in his strategy. They need to uncover his true motivations, why he is doing this, what his real endgame is. Is this just about power, or is there something personal driving him? Does he have a past grudge against Alexis, Sonny, or even Natalia that no one has uncovered yet? Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain, Sidwell is far from finished. His actions are escalating, proving that he is not just another enemy to be dealt with, he is a force of destruction unlike anything Carly and Jason have faced before. And if they don't stop him now, the cost could be higher than they ever imagined. Port Charles is on the verge of something catastrophic, and when the final move is made, nothing will ever be the same again. The question now isn't just whether Carly and Jason can stop Sidwell, it's whether they can survive the storm he's about to unleash. After Sonny, Drew is set to become Sidwell's next target, marking a new phase in his deadly scheme. However, the deeper mystery isn't just about who Sidwell is targeting, it's about how he's orchestrating the downfall of some of the most powerful figures in Port Charles. The situation is spiraling into something much more dangerous, with each calculated move pushing the town toward a catastrophic breaking point. And at the heart of it all is Alexis, whose fingerprints on the infamous dagger have now become the foundation of Sidwell's twisted game. Sidwell's actions are no longer just about eliminating his enemies. He is actively manipulating the narrative to destroy reputations, break alliances, and leave his victims helpless to defend themselves. Alexis, who was unknowingly pulled into this web, now finds herself facing an even greater nightmare. Her past mistakes, her complicated ties to both Sunny and Drew, and her history of making questionable legal decisions are now being twisted against her in the worst possible way. The evidence against her is piling up, and with Sunny's murder looming, her fate is already sealed in Sidwell's mind. But just as Port Charles begins reeling from one shocking death, Sidwell has already set his sights on his next victim, Drew. Drew may not realize it yet, but he is in just as much danger as Sunny. Sidwell's strategy isn't just to take down individuals, it's to create a chain reaction that ensures maximum destruction. By targeting Drew, Sidwell isn't just eliminating another powerful figure, he is ensuring that Port Charles remains in a state of chaos. The question is, why Drew? Is this about more than just power? Could Sidwell's motivations be rooted in something deeper, perhaps a vendetta against Drew that no one saw coming? One possible angle is Drew's growing influence, both in the business world and in his political aspirations. He has been making major moves that could put him at odds with Sidwell, even if he doesn't fully realize it. If Sidwell sees Drew as a threat, eliminating him would serve two purposes, removing an obstacle and sending a clear message to anyone else who might stand in his way. But the way he plans to take Drew down is just as sinister as his attack on Sunny, by using Alexis as his scapegoat once again. With Alexis's fingerprints already on the murder weapon, Sidwell has laid the groundwork for another setup. If Drew is killed in a similar fashion, the pattern will be undeniable. Alexis will not only be accused of killing Sunny but will also be implicated in Drew's murder. The weight of the evidence will be overwhelming, leaving her with almost no way to defend herself. This will not only destroy Alexis's life but will also shatter the trust of those closest to her. If Christina struggled to believe in her mother's innocence after Sunny's death, how will she react? And Alexis is tied to yet another crime. Will Sam and Scout be pulled into this nightmare as well? As the pieces fall into place, Port Charles is on the brink of complete devastation. Carly and Jason are already working against the clock to stop Sidwell before Sunny is taken out. But what happens when they realize Drew is next? Can they get ahead of Sidwell's plan, or will they be forced to watch as another one of their own falls victim to his merciless tactics? Dante, as both a cop and Sunny's son, will be at a crossroads. How can he reconcile his duty to uphold the law when the evidence points so clearly at Alexis? Will his instincts tell him that something isn't right, or will he be forced to accept the case at face value? And what about Sam? If Drew is attacked, she will stop at nothing to uncover the truth. But what if all the clues continue to point to Alexis? Sidwell's plan is unfolding with terrifying precision, and the worst part is that no one realizes just how deep this deception goes. He is controlling the game from behind the scenes, making moves that no one sees coming until it's too late. The truth is, this isn't just about Sunny or Drew, it's about something much bigger. If Sidwell succeeds, Port Charles may never recover. The next few weeks will be critical. Will Carly and Jason find a way to stop Sidwell before another body drops? Will Alexis be able to prove her innocence, or will she be forced to take the fall for crimes she didn't commit? And most importantly, will anyone realize what Sidwell is really after before it's too late? One thing is certain, Sidwell isn't finished. The bloodshed has only just begun, and with every move he makes, the city inches closer to complete catastrophe.